So Vineet, no conversation with fund manager will end without asking, भैया बाजार में क्या हो रहा है, market में क्या हो रहा है. So I think now is the time to ask that question once again.
Yeah.
Because we are seeing correction everywhere. But when you see online, some are telling it is healthy, some are telling it is required, some are telling that it is the end. Lot of people are telling mota-moti bottom ho gaya, few points here and there. It may take some time to consolidation. So much of noise, right? So as for our retail investors, just trying to understand few things, especially 2-3 questions around this point is: one, FIIs will come back. If yes, around by when? Because last time we have seen the huge rush when interest rate was coming down. In US, interest rate has fallen as low as 1% or below 1%. Now, their risk-free is around 5%. And US may reduce the tax liability. For some reason, if they don't come back, or if they are coming back, by when? That is my next question. We are also hearing the fact here and there that China is looking cheap. Money may go from Bharat to China. We are hearing some news around that. And last but not the least, our present president in US is a proper businessman. For some reason, if things settles down, if Russia once again starts attracting more money, that emerging money का जो पैसा उधर जाना है, if that is start going back to other places, how 2025-26 looks for Indian investors, Indian capital market, little broader picture for the benefit of our viewers, sir.
So see, I think first of all, because this geopolitical situation is very, very complex and uncertain, I feel that the best thing to do is go back to the base rates and understand what is the driver, what is going to be the driver of returns for the Indian corporates, and will the companies which have slowed their earnings growth come back in terms of the earnings growth. Because I feel no matter what economy one is talking about, no matter what segments one is talking about, no matter what macro factors one is talking about, end of the day, money chases returns.
Okay.
And the color of money will shift, color of money from domestic, foreign investors, but everyone wants return. When a foreign investor is actually looking at India, the bigger risk in their mind is a currency risk. If they are able to take a call on that currency, 3, 4, 5%, whatever that depreciation, then broadly, if they are able to generate 10, 11%, I think that's a good return for them. For Indian investors, multiple types of investors, retail investors looking at the back screen, they may want to have 20% almost on a 6 monthly basis. I mean, those are also sometimes not well oriented in their minds, and hence those creates a lot of volatility in the. But the point is that till the time the economy has the power to generate growth, and the participants are well behaved. When I say well behaved, it means that they are generating decent ROCs on the capital employed. So India as a country today, we are at 15-16% ROC, which is a good number. I think we are, as a country, we have the highest number of companies with 15% ROCs, highest proportion of companies as compared to any other economy, except US maybe. So I think in that context, we have good universe of companies to select from, and hence I believe that money will sort of come back. Now, again, I want to take you back to the history to think of how the foreign investors think. So first of all, I think of late, last 1 year or so, the bigger concerns in the minds of foreign investors were around the valuations.
Okay.
And that was keeping them slightly away. And the last, since election last year, the US election, all of these actually factors confluenced at a common point.
True.
And combining with our slowdown in the corporate sector and all that, I think that has led to these becoming more risk averse and then taking the money out. Since I think September, almost 26 or 27 billion dollar has been moved out of by the foreign investors from the Indian equities. Now let us look back what happened during COVID. I was again looking at the data back then. By March 20, when actually COVID hit, we had seen a big 1 month outflow by the foreign investors, almost like a $10 billion. But since April or May, they started investing, and I think in a matter of 3-4 months, almost $10-11 billion of money came back to the Indian market. Only reason being India became cheap. At that time also, I don't think anybody would have had a visibility around whether we will survive, the companies will survive, or it will happen or no. We are almost like in the same situation. We have seen, as I said, almost 15% drawdown in large cap. We have seen 20% drawdown in mid cap, 25% drawdown in small cap. It is possible that we may see another 5-10% here or there. But point is that at these levels or slightly lower levels, our valuations are going to look attractive.
Okay.
Not that our economy has lost the ability to grow. So I would say that when one is going to combine the fundamentals along with the valuations and then ignoring what is happening at the macro, I think it would make a good case for foreign investors also to start looking at India maybe now, or as we progress more towards seeing slightly more correction. I think this would be a good point. So I would say, thinking from the rationality perspective, it would be a good time for investors to start looking at India, because the valuations have come down. Already rupee has depreciated. So from both perspective, I think it is making sense. So I would not say that it is going to be a scenario where they will never come back. That is not the frame of mind. And anyways, I think, as I said, the color of money is not there. So the domestic anyways are putting a lot of money. I believe that flow, because there is a pension fund which is now investing and all of this. So there is a lot of money which is still maybe going to be participating in the Indian equities. And hence I believe that from now onwards, if there is some more correction, this would be a good sort of point to look at.
If you are sitting on cash.
Yeah, that was one part of the question. The other is, I think, the geopolitics is, as I said, it's very complex. I have my own views, but they don't matter, because it doesn't actually always work the way we think. But I think this is a time where the confusion is only going to increase till the time the clarity doesn't arise as to how major economies are going to think about exchanging trade and services amongst themselves. It will not be clear whether the economies are looking at inflationary pressures, the economies are going in line with their motive to reduce interest rates, because last 6 months we have actually seen in US 100 basis points of interest rate actually increasing when the expectation was that it will come down. So I think all these complexities are going to remain, and hence it is going to cause volatility. So till the time these dust settles, we won't see any kind of maybe visibility of growth, but the best investments are done in uncertain times. So I would say from investors' perspective, they should not think of getting clarity on all of that. If they see good valuations, even if the uncertainty is around, I think that should be a good point to keep looking at equities incrementally.
So for Mota Moti, should not worry too much. This is not the only correction we are seeing in our life. We have seen decent number of corrections historically. And I think in our previous question we were touching, index has fallen from 21,000 Sensex around 7,000. We have seen around 60% kind of erosion, but still it survived and came back.
Yes.
Now looking back to those incidents, we feel today अगर वैसा हो गया हो तो मैं ज़्यादा पैसा डालता था. Now the incident is in front of us. Now we have to make up our mind. I think the conclusion that we have to arrive from this conversation is that financial planning is a must. Goal-oriented investment is a must. On a daily basis, what is happening in the market, we should not worry. At the end of the day, it is market. It is known to go up and come down. Shall we conclude like that?
Absolutely.